Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. MOVESTONEXT. You ever meet someone who takes pleasure in making you feel small? Someone who thinks they're untouchable, that they can step on you, laugh and walk away without consequence? Yeah, this man didn't know what would happen next. If you've ever been underestimated, humiliated, or told you'd never make it, this story asks for you. So, hit that like button, subscribe, and sit tight. Because today's revenge isn't just satisfying, it's surgical. Let's begin. The beginning, humiliation in a grey suit. I still remember the first day I met Derek. He was the kind of guy who walked into a room like he owned the air you were breathing. Expensive suit, loud laugh, that smug confidence you only see in people who've never been told no. I was 23, fresh out of college, nervous, clutching my coffee like it was a lifeline. It was my first day at Langston Financial, a mid-sized firm where dreams of success went to die in flu. Iridescent lighting. Derek was my supervisor, a man who'd been in the company for a decade and wore it like a crown. I was just the new analyst, the quiet kid who triple-checked his spreadsheets and avoided confrontation. From day one, he made sure I knew my place. "Kid," he'd say, leaning back in his chair, "don't overthink it. You're here to make me look good." It stung, but I told myself he was just tough love personified. I was wrong. The first cut. 2 weeks in, I made a minor error in a client report, a single misplaced decimal. Harmless, fixable. But Derek? He saw an opportunity. He called me out in front of the entire office. "See, everyone? This is what happens when we hire textbook geniuses with no common sense." The laughter hit harder than his words. Every chuckle, every side glance. It burned. That night, I sat at my desk long after everyone left, staring at the computer screen, pretending the numbers made sense. Inside, I was replaying every moment. The laughter, the embarrassment, the quiet voice in my head whispering, "You're not good enough." But then something changed. I decided that humiliation would be my fuel, the grind. I started arriving before sunrise and leaving after midnight. While Derek was busy flirting with the receptionist and bragging about his network, I was studying, not just finance, but him, his habits, his weaknesses, how he cut corners, how he took credit for others' work, how he spent company money like it was his personal wallet. I started documenting everything, quietly, methodically. Emails, invoices, discrepancies in client accounts. Nobody noticed the quiet kid in the corner. That's the thing about being invisible. It's the perfect cover. The breaking point. A year passed and I was due for a promotion. My work spoke for itself. New clients, efficient systems, glowing feedback from upper management. But Derek, he made sure it never happened. He forgot to submit my performance report. Then he revised it with fabricated mistakes. I confronted him in his office one afternoon. "Why would you do this, Derek? You know I earned that spot." He leaned back, smirking. "Earned? Kid, you don't earn things here. You take them, or you stay a nobody. And you don't have the guts." He was right about one thing. I didn't have the guts, yet. But that night, I promised myself I would never let anyone hold my future hostage again. The setup. Months later, Derek made a mistake. A big one. He started siphoning small amounts from client retainers into a consulting fee shell account. It wasn't massive, just subtle. Enough to look like a clerical error. I had already collected enough data to expose him, but I wasn't ready to strike yet. I wanted to build something first, something bigger. So, I quit. I left Langston quietly, shaking Derek's hand with a smile. "Thanks for everything," I said. He chuckled. "Good luck out there, kid. Why? We'll need it." Oh, he had no idea how much luck I'd find. The rise. For the next 3 years, I poured everything I had into starting my own financial consultancy. At first, it was just me, a laptop, and cheap coffee, but I'd learned the system inside out. And I knew exactly where traditional firms like Langston were failing their clients. So I built something lean, transparent, modern. Word spread fast. Clients followed. Within 2 years, Tilix Capital was managing millions. And guess who came knocking on my door? Langston Financial. Their profits were plummeting. Their clients were leaving. And Derek, the golden boy, was now a desperate man, The call. It was a Thursday morning when I got the email. Subject line, potential partnership opportunity. The sender, Derek Langston himself. I stared at the screen for a long time, a slow smile spreading across my face. He didn't recognize my company's name, but he remembered mine. I could tell by the careful tone in his message. He wanted to discuss possible collaboration. Translation, we're drowning and I need a lifeboat. I set the meeting for Monday. The revenge begins. When Derek walked into my office, I almost didn't recognize him. The expensive suits were gone. The hairline had retreated. His confidence, hollow. Ethan, he said, forcing a laugh. Man, look at you, CEO now, huh? You've done well for yourself. Trying my best, I said, offering him coffee. He took it, unaware that he was stepping right into the trap. We discussed numbers, strategy, projections, all the things he used to condescend to me about. Halfway through, I leaned back and said, you know, Derek, this partnership might work. But before we move forward, there's something I need to clarify. He nodded eagerly. Of course. I slid a folder across the table. Inside were copies of the financial records I'd archived, the ones proving his embezzlement years ago. He froze. Remember these transactions, March 14th, April 2nd, June 9th. Funny thing, they all point back to an unregistered account under your name. His face drained of color. Ethan, that was years ago. Oh, I know, I said calmly, and I never told anyone. But see, if we're going to work together, I need transparency. Clients need to trust who they're working with. He swallowed hard. What do you want? I smiled. Simple. You're going to resign from Langston today, and you're going to recommend Helix Capital as your firm's primary partner. You'll sign over your client list, and in return, this folder never sees daylight. He looked at me, eyes flickering with rage and defeat. This is blackmail. No, I said softly. This is karma. The fall. By the end of that week, Derek was gone. Langston Financial collapsed within months. Clients migrating to Helix like bees to honey. Rumor spread that Derek had been caught mismanaging funds. Nobody knew the full truth. Nobody except me. And for the first time in years, I slept peacefully. The twist. Months later, into Derek again. This time at a networking event. He looked smaller somehow, like the arrogance had been scraped off him. He walked up slowly. Ethan, I just wanted to say you were right about everything. I didn't gloat. I didn't even smile. I just nodded. I know. He nodded back, quietly, and then he said something I didn't expect. Thank you for not destroying me. I paused. Maybe he expected me to humiliate him like he once did to me. But revenge doesn't always have to mean ruin. Sometimes, making someone live with their own downfall is the best punishment there is. When I watched Derek walk out of my office that day, shoulders heavy, pride shattered, I didn't feel hatred anymore, just closure. He used to say power was about control, but real power, it's being able to destroy someone, and choosing not to. So if someone's trying to break you, belittle you, or make you feel small, remember this, they're not your enemy, they're your motivation. Let their arrogance be the spark that fuels your fire, because one day they'll need your mercy, and that'll be your sweetest revenge. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button, subscribe the channel, MOVESTONEXT, and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed?